My name is Daniel. I head up business development for Expensify. At Expensify, we like to do expense reports that don't suck. And so what does that mean? Well, today, I'm going to be really excited to talk to you guys for a number of different reasons. One, we just opened up our UK entity actually in February. And the FinTech community in general has been incredibly receptive, and we are it's so awesome to just be here. But secondly, I have the pleasure of telling you what Expensify does, not only from a functionality standpoint, but also how we improve the expense reporting process for Innovate Finance, the hosts of this summit. So we're going to be walking through what they actually did. So to get started, this is the problem that Expensify wanted to go ahead and solve. A lot of you probably in the crowd, you probably have a wallet full of receipts. You're going to go back to your office at the end of the summit. You're going to go back and you're going to go ahead and put them in your desk, maybe in a box. But either way, you still have a bunch of receipts. At the end of the month, you're probably going to go ahead and look at a spreadsheet. You're going to pull it up. This is actually, Abdul was nice enough to go ahead and lend me his spreadsheet of what it looked like earlier this year before they adopted Expensify. But you're going to get out those receipts. You're probably going to print out your statement, pull out your Sharpie, maybe a glue stick, some tape, anything like that. And you're going to start keying in information. So putting in the date, the merchant, and the amount of those receipt images. That's a lot of manual entry. Expensify removes this entire process. We can actually go ahead and pull all of this information automatically. So fast forward to today, what does the process actually look like for Innovate Finance and their team? Today, it's a completely automated process. It starts at the time of transaction when they get the receipt image, they smart scan the receipt, and it ends with all of the information being automatically exported to the accounting system, coded with the general ledger. So step by step, let's go ahead and break it down. I could go ahead and just do a live demo, but I would welcome you all to come back there, check it out yourselves. But if you're an end user, this is what it looks like. You pull out your app that's either on iOS, whatever application you want to go ahead and do, just download it. Every time that you have a transaction, you smart scan that receipt. What Smart Scan is actually going to do is we're going to pull the date, the merchant, and the amount of that receipt image. We're also going to go ahead and pull the category directly for you. So we integrate with all of the banks, so that way we have the MCC code, and we can also merge that receipt to the imported credit card transaction, which is extremely important for automation standpoints. Next, as an end user, you might need to code further information. So let's say that you have departments or projects or clients or anything like that that you might need to tag at the expense line item level. With Expensify, you can go ahead and do so at the palm of your hand. We're actually going to go ahead and remember all of the information that you're tagging, so that way the next time you have to tag that merchant, we can go ahead and predict what that actually looks like. So from an end user standpoint, instead of having to do any spreadsheets, all you do is take photos of receipts at the time of purchase, and we'll go ahead and automate everything else for you. Now let's go ahead and think about what's also going on the back end. So there's a ton more of information that Expensify is actually doing. When your company gets set up, the admin is going to dictate whether you should be submitting expense reports daily, weekly, or monthly. Expensify is going to compile all of those expenses, those receipts automatically for you. Anything that's not breaking any rules goes automatically through the process. Anything that is breaking a rule, we're going to go ahead and highlight using our rules agents and so say, hey Daniel, you actually need to code this further. It'll get kicked back to me, so that way I can go ahead and do so. But everything that's automatically, or anything that's already being approved, goes through the system, so I get paid back faster. Now, what does it look like for an actual approver? An approver, they still might highlight rules of expenses that they want to look at in more detail. So we're again going to compile that report, but we're also going to go ahead and highlight all of the transactions that are actually breaking certain rules. So maybe I spent too much on lunch, or I bought a 5-star hotel instead of a 4-star. Well, my admin, my accountant, they actually want to look at this, and so instead of having to dig through the entire expense report, they'll actually just be brought to the surface, so that way as an accountant, then they can just go ahead and look these. So no more looking for the needle in the haystack, we just pull those out for you. Everything's being coded directly in my ERP system or my accounting system. So for instance, Innovate Finance, they use Xero, so everything is being coded by those, and it'll automatically go through. At the end of the month, it'll be packaged up and just exported to their system, again, removing a ton of manual entry for everyone involved. So this is a completely automated expense reporting solution. One of the cool things about Expensify is the technology is so cool, but one of the things we noticed also is a lot of people, they think they don't need necessarily a full-fledged expense reporting system. But what Expensify did is we actually just started asking them 2 simple questions. 1, are you on Excel? 2, do you use company cards? And instead of having to talk about all the functionality, if you're on Excel, you have a problem with your expense reporting system. This is what we've done actually where we're based in San Francisco. Tremendous customer list, and this is what we're really excited to start doing in the UK and in Europe in general. It's just asking this question, and we think that in the future, what Expensify's goal is in FinTech is that within 2 years, Excel is no longer the norm for expense reporting. You're actually just doing it from the palm of your hand using Expensify. So thank you so much. Come check us out. We got a booth, and have a great day.